Melochim Perek Vav Halacha Yudalad. A person is forbidden to relieve himself within the encampment or on the field at any place. Ela mitzvahs say, but there's an obligation in the Torah to enact there a place where people would relieve themselves. Shenema, it says that a person should have a vessel who's outside of the encampment. The Vaz in Peirush explains, this is from the Sifri, Yod does not refer to a hand, but rather a place. They should be ready to use to relieve oneself, because it says, and in Shmuel 1:15-12, and the Chinuch adds that to use the mitzvah, what it says in the Parsha, it goes within your encampment, and your encampment should be holy. And the souls of Yisrael are attached to the Shekhinah forever. And certainly in the encampment, they go out to war, people who are clean of soul, because everyone who fears any sins can return, as we learned, and those that remain, only those that are free of sin, and the Spirit of Hashem dwells upon them. As it's known that cleanliness is a good attribute which brings to spiritualness. Bior says this in Avodah Zorah 20. And there is a praise in the nation, because other nations come to them that see that it's clean from any dirt, defilement, and they become more worthy in the eyes of the other nations. The Ramban adds that every Machon is like a Mikdash Hashem. The Chinuch says the Halacha that this is in effect the time of the Beis HaMikdash by males, because they go to war, but not by females, because they do not go to war. And somebody who does not make such a place and does his needs within the encampment nullifies this positive commandment, and his punishment is very great, because he caused the Shekhinah to go away from the Machon Yisrael, as it says in Rambam 23:15. You should not be seen amongst you something that is immoral, and leave from you. And when you are within defilement, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will distance himself from you. We begin Perek Vav Halacha Vov. The say, it's also a positive commandment. Everyone should have a vessel, Tluyim and Melochim, carried on with him together with his war armaments. And you should go out in that way to the place which is set aside for relieving oneself. Should dig a hole with the implement, and relieve himself, and cover it with dirt. As it says in Rambam 23:14, that it shall be this implement together with your armor. He writes, the 16th mitzvah is to make this implement. So from the Sefer Mitzvahs, part of the mitzvah 193, we are commanded that it should be a digging instrument together with his war instruments from every one of the armored people. And so he should be able to relieve himself, and he cover his excrement. It shouldn't be seen in the encampment of war. And we find in the beginning of the Parsha in Devarim 23, verse 10, and Loshen Sifri is Aznecha is only where you keep your armed items, armaments. Thus we see that he counts them as two separate mitzvahs. There should be, now, in the two mitzvahs, one, there should be a place, and secondly, you have to have this implement. The Chinuch brings it as two separate mitzvahs, mitzvahs 5:66 and 5:67. that everyone should have a vessel and to dig with, to have a place to relieve himself. Like a Mishnah cites that the Smag counts as one mitzvah. The Melochim cites Brochas 25a. The innocent questions that the hand should have this implement only to make a place to cover to relieve yourself. That's you have to cover it. How? Every adult has to have this implement. He has to cover it. And regarding urination, if he's not defecating, he doesn't have to cover it. That's why the Rambam, the Chinuch, didn't make this differentiation. He says that Rashi explains the go there is only regarding urination, and it does not need to be covered. However, when it comes to defecation, then you have to cover it. But the simple language of the Gemara is that anything is forbidden. You need a specific place outside, both for relieving oneself and both for urination. Those who edit the Hilchos Chinuch cite the tshuva of Zichron Yosef, they understood that his brother-in-law, the Ripik, questioned why the Rambam left this out. Zichron Yosef answers that according to the Rambam, there was questioned, the Tesis, it says in Bechoros 44b, how could the soldiers refrain from urinating till they go out 3 pasoyes, which is 12 mil outside of the Machna, and he doesn't answer it. Therefore, the Rambam learned that the Torah did not forbid urination, and so others explain that only for to defecate it's forbidden, not regarding urination. Here the Rambam doesn't mention urination as a forbiddenness. Doesn't matter whether they have left with the ark of the tablets or not. This they have to do continuously. Shenema, it says your encampment shall be holy. Ramban in Dvorim 23:11 says that the Machna is considered like a Mikdash Hashem. That's why he learned that a place of Tefillah, you have to be 4 amos away from any excrement, and as far as you can see. But our rabbis taught us in Psochim 68a, you should go out to the outskirts of the encampment. This is the encampment of the Shechina. Do not come within the encampment. That's the Leviah, and they're both referring when the Oren was with them. Not like the Rambam who says it's applicable even when there's no Oren. The Yereim is of the opinion like the Ramban. The Human Yerushalmi, he explains that the Pasuk is talking about by the encampment of Yisrael in the Midbar, and Ani HaKovod encompass them. And so explains Rashi as well. Aroskuni writes that the mitzvah is only when they go to war. The Oren is with them without any separation. But when there's a separation, the Mishkan is set up and the Oren is surrounded by its separation, you don't have to go beyond, but you can do it wherever he is and cover it. And the Sefer Torah Yom Kippurim, he questions from the Gemara, it would seem otherwise in Yuma 75b. The Chinuch concludes, and this posik, since it came to our hands to mention, I will tell you what Chazal said in Subis Hey 5a, why the person has 10 fingers like that, and the fingers are made like digging implements. That if he hears something bad, he should put his finger into his ear, and it will close his ear. In the same way as we cover that which is not proper to be visible, so we close that which we should. And he learns the word azanecho on your implements, meaning your ears. The person should not listen to to things that are not correct.